Lewis Hamilton is shaping up to be the odd one out this season, labelled as an outcast in the team. Rumour has it that he's being treated like an outsider, with Toto Wolff reportedly cautious about Hamilton sharing team secrets with Ferrari. The buzz intensified when Hamilton's move to Ferrari was announced early on. Now the word is that Wolff might exclude him from crucial team meetings. Opinions are divided. Some cry foul, deeming it unfair, while others argue it's a reasonable precaution. Let's begin. As Lewis Hamilton gears up for his final season with Mercedes before moving to Ferrari in 2025, a change in the dynamics is on the horizon, according to Martin Brundle. The Sky Sports expert suggests that Mercedes will gradually limit the information shared with Hamilton as he approaches his departure. Brundle explains, "There's a transition point where Lewis will no longer be part of meetings. He won't be in the loop about car development and simulator work. The team, consciously or unconsciously, will lean towards favouring George." Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has already expressed concerns about preserving Hamilton's integrity to prevent any sensitive information from being carried over to Ferrari in the following year. It seems a shift is in the works as the team prepares for a future without Hamilton. Talking about what knowledge Lewis Hamilton might bring with him to Ferrari, Martin Brundle explained, "He could bring insights into processes, philosophies, his preferences in how the car works, his seating preferences, and what he needs from a car to perform at its best." Brundle highlighted the challenge Hamilton might face in integrating into the new team, stating, "Adapting won't be easy. He doesn't speak the language and he won't be as familiar with the team as someone like Charles Leclerc." Considering Hamilton's potential desire to bring some team members with him, Brundle pointed out the hurdles, saying, "Non-compete clauses may prevent him from taking his own people. However, having familiar faces can help him hit the ground running in the new environment." Speaking about Hamilton's final season with Mercedes, Brundle expressed confidence in Hamilton's commitment, saying, "I have no doubt he'll give it his all until the last lap of the last race. It's seen as a farewell tour, and everyone hopes he bids farewell by losing in a Ferrari." When asked about the potential awkwardness of Lewis Hamilton spending a whole year at Mercedes, knowing he's headed to Ferrari, Simon Lazenby shared his perspective, saying, "With Lewis, it's different. He's exceptional. It's Lewis. He's given everything to Mercedes. They owe him a lot. They owe him respect as the great champion he is during his time at Mercedes." Lazenby continued, "I don't think it'll be emotional. Lewis will navigate through the season. If he sees early on that he has a car capable of competing for the championship, the team will have to support the best driver, whoever that is." The situation was bound to be tricky ever since the announcement. Ferrari and Hamilton might have handled it better, maybe revealing the deal later in the season. Some argue that F1 intentionally leaked the news to divert attention from denying Andretti a seat in F1. Predictably, Mercedes will do everything this season to keep Hamilton in the dark. They will likely push George Russell as well. That was the case in the past 2 seasons, but the attempts to favour Russell were not very successful. Remember last season when Sainz was leading and Russell, with new tyres, couldn't overtake Norris due to DRS, eventually crashing under pressure in the last lap. If Mercedes had supported Lewis over Russell, he might have won that race. Max Verstappen seems to have the same thoughts about the situation in Mercedes. Max Verstappen predicts that Lewis Hamilton will face an awkward time with Mercedes in 2024 as he heads towards his departure to Ferrari. Verstappen believes the premature announcement of Hamilton's future destination was prompted by leaked news and might create an uncomfortable situation for the rest of the season. As standard practice, Hamilton will gradually be phased out of car development meetings for Mercedes' 2025 car. However, Verstappen is confident that Mercedes will continue to offer complete support to Hamilton, despite certain exclusions from meetings, emphasizing the professional understanding in Formula One. It seemed like the news was a bit leaked, of course, and then they had to announce it, because to announce something that big that early in the season, I think for sure for the rest of the year, is a little bit awkward, Verstappen said at Red Bull's 2024 car launch. But still, despite everything, as we enter the testing phases and we prepare for the opening race this weekend, Lewis gave his thoughts on the Mercedes car. Lewis acknowledges that Mercedes is still not at the desired performance level, despite a generally positive Formula One test in Bahrain. The team has redesigned its car for 2024 to address previous issues. While initial runs of the W15 suggest improvements in addressing past weaknesses, Hamilton indicates that they haven't achieved their speed goal yet. Hamilton expresses awareness of the work ahead, but is optimistic about building on a solid foundation. Teammate George Russell believes Red Bull remains the front-runner, but sees Mercedes in a much better position than a year ago, with a well-handling car and a strong foundation for further development. George Russell acknowledges that there's room for improvement in lap time, aware of Red Bull's strong performance. Despite this, he expresses confidence, stating that Mercedes is in a better position than a year ago. The team has addressed handling flaws from the W14, with the W15 showing positive signs during testing. Andrew Chauvelin, Mercedes trackside engineering director, notes improvements in key areas and emphasizes the team's focus on understanding the car better. Chauvelin refrains from making predictions on pace, but highlights the team's improved position compared to the previous year. In an exclusive interview with Sky during the Bahrain test drives, Mick Schumacher discussed his future plans, eyeing Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes seat when it becomes available. While expressing his F1 aspirations, Schumacher emphasized his current roles as a reserve driver and a WEC driver. He remains optimistic about impressing both in F1 and WEC if he performs well. Schumacher believes Mercedes is aware of his capabilities, showcasing them in simulations, junior categories, and with Haas. Alongside his F1 commitments, Schumacher looks forward to racing in the World Endurance Championships for Alpine in 2024, acknowledging the challenges of the new experience, including different car types on the track simultaneously. So could we possibly see Schumacher in the Mercedes spot soon? Well, there is another interesting option. Alexander Albon has already stated before that he considers Lewis Hamilton just as big as the sport. So as a fan, he would try to emulate his success in his team. In the UK, it seems many folks got into Formula One because of Lewis Hamilton in 2008. Even before knowing much about the sport, people knew him. In the US, if you're not already an F1 fan, you probably only know Hamilton and Schumacher. Senna might ring a bell for some, but not Ricciardo. Despite being dubbed an honorary American and a superstar, I've yet to meet someone who recognizes Ricciardo's name, except among dedicated F1 fans. The narrative about him being a big deal in the US is a bit puzzling from my experience. Hamilton, on the other hand, seems more known, or at least less unknown here. Even Red Bull had Max and Perez on their cans, and some recognized Max, though without much knowledge about him. Despite a significant Mexican population in my area, none of them seemed to know Sergio. Interestingly, quite a few black individuals recognize Sir Lewis Hamilton. It's worth noting that Hamilton lives in my state, Colorado, and is part owner of the Broncos, the local football team. Now, getting back to the main point, Alex Albon could be a great replacement for Lewis Hamilton. If Toto Wolff decides to have a no number one driver policy next season, it could make things very interesting for Mercedes. Choosing between Mick and Alex might be a tough call. Only time will reveal how it all plays out. For the remainder of this season, we'll have to see if Mercedes will truly support Lewis Hamilton or lean towards Russell, or if it'll be a fair competition between them. Let's not forget, Lewis Hamilton is a legendary driver, one of the best ever, and he's brought Mercedes a lot of fame. He's made them one of the most successful teams in history. In my view, the team should give him the respect he deserves, because he's earned it. What are your thoughts? Do you think Mercedes will undermine Hamilton this season? And who do you think is the perfect replacement for Hamilton? Toto Wolff had already stated that Mercedes can be bold in their choice, so it might actually be someone not really connected to Mercedes. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.